This fight between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury was good for boxing for several reasons. Now, the obvious is the heavyweight division is the flagship division of boxing. When you've got an undisputed fight happening, it draws a lot of attention. And when it turns out to be a good fight, as this one did, that is massively helpful to boxing. You know, it wasn't like, for example, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, where they built it up for years, but when they eventually got in the ring, it was a total dud. Casuals thought it was going to be like the Thriller in Manila or something. They built up all this expectation, the whole world watching, massive pay-per-view figures, and it turns out to be an atrociously boring fight. It did a tremendous amount of damage to boxing. In fact, boxing in America has never really recovered from those Floyd Mayweather years, building up to these big fights that turn out to be boring 12-round snooze fests. And so Usyk Fury was the antithesis of that. It wasn't built up anywhere near as much as Mayweather Pacquiao, of course, because neither Alexander Usyk nor Tyson Fury are as big a names as those guys. But it was still built up. Heavyweight is still the flagship division for boxing, and it actually delivered on its promise and then some. It turned out to be better than most people expected it to be. So obviously, it's fantastically good for boxing. Everyone's talking about it. Even the MMA guys are talking about it. All these guys like Bisping and whatever, they're making videos about boxing on their YouTube channels, right? Because of this Usyk Fury fight. But it was also good for boxing, this fight, in another way. Specifically, the result of the fight, which was obviously Usyk winning and dropping Tyson Fury en route, beating him up en route. That was a very, very good thing and something boxing desperately needed. Why? Because on one hand, you've got a fighter in Tyson Fury who is a relentless liar, a gaslighter, somebody that has no respect for the fans, is always trying to con the fans, avoided the Usyk fight for 2 years. It's only because of fan pressure, Usyk's showing some weakness in the Dubois fight in Fury's eyes, and the Saudis making Tyson Fury an offer he couldn't refuse. It's only because of those three factors that Fury eventually got in the ring. Getting Tyson Fury in the ring took a campaign by boxing fans, the Saudis, the Usyk team of 2 years to get the guy in the ring. It was like pulling teeth. I was part of the campaign of getting Fury in the ring with Alexander Usyk. Why should it be so hard to get a guy who's running around calling himself the greatest heavyweight ever to fight an opponent who he says is just a middleweight and he's no good and he's a gap tooth and this, that, and the other? Why should it be so hard to get the guy in the ring? If Tyson Fury had beaten Alexander Usyk, in his mind and in the minds of his fanboys in the media and fanboys in the general public, that would have been a mandate for Fury to take his BS to a whole new level. If he'd beaten Alexander Usyk, this guy would have been fighting Mickey Mouse fights for the rest of eternity, facilitated by the WBC, because Tyson Fury said that he was going to vacate all of the belts if he beat Usyk other than the WBC belt. Why? Because the WBC give him carte blanche to take on joke opponents, and they only give him a mandatory like once every 2 years, damn near. So if Fury had won, oh my gosh, if you thought he was bad before the Usyk fight, had he beaten Usyk, it would have just been worse than anything you've ever seen in the heavyweight division in terms of milking a win and believing that he deserves to be able to fight bums for the rest of his career and call them world title fights and put them on pay-per-view and make out as though the other champions with all the other belts, since they would be scattered, they're all irrelevant. Do that probably till he's 45. And whenever anyone questions it, oh, well, he did beat Usyk 10 years ago, so we have to call him the best. Yeah, but he's not fighting all these other guys who have come up since. No. He beat Usyk 10 years ago. I'm being a little facetious, but not that much. This is what was in store for us if Tyson Fury had won the fight. That would have been disastrous for boxing. Instead, the more honest boxer, the more honest champion got the victory. Alexander Usyk is a throwback fighter in the truest sense. He doesn't mess about. Look how quickly he became undisputed at cruiserweight. And just so there was no doubt whatsoever about who was the number one at cruiserweight, he said to Tony Bellew, come back down from heavyweight after you've beaten up David Haye, and I'll fight you as well in your backyard. Because Tony Bellew never lost his WBC cruiserweight title in the ring. So he could try and make a claim to still being the man in the cruiserweight division. So Usyk said, okay, let me tie up all the loose ends before I move up to heavyweight, and I'll fight Bellew in his backyard. He didn't get all diva-ish about it. He could have done, because he had 4 belts. But he said, no, I'll fight you in your backyard. It doesn't need to be neutral territory. I'm the champion, but you can set up the event like you're the champion. That's okay. Obviously went in there, knocked Tony Bellew out. Then he moves up to heavyweight, takes a couple of fights to acclimatize himself to the division, which is normal. Holyfield had something like 6 fights before he fought Buster Douglas for the world heavyweight title. Usyk had 2 fights to get used to heavyweight and then straight in with Anthony Joshua. And at the time, there were loads of people, I remember the comments. People were saying, oh no, it's too soon for Usyk to fight Joshua. He needs a few more fights at heavyweight. And I'm not saying there was anything wrong with people saying that, because that would be the norm, right? That's what Holyfield did. He took more fights than just 2 before he challenged for the heavyweight title. Usyk just took 2 and said, nah, I'm ready. Let's go. Fought AJ in his backyard, schooled him. Fought him again in Saudi, schooled him. Immediately after that, I want Fury. Next. Fury messes around for 2 years, drags it all out, lies his way through the whole time. But again, the pressure from the public, what he saw as weakness in Usyk in the Dubois fight, and the Saudis making him an offer he couldn't refuse, eventually got the guy in the ring. But it was literally like pulling teeth. You can't have a guy like that winning the undisputed heavyweight title. You just can't. It would be terrible for boxing if it had happened, because it sets a precedent. Think about it. Because this is what Mayweather did. Mayweather, and a lot of his antics and messing about and avoiding certain fights, the lies he would come out with, the gaslighting, that inspired other fighters to do the same as Mayweather, to try and follow his blueprint, including people like Tyson Fury, by the way. It had a terribly negative effect on boxing. Whereas Usyk becoming undisputed champion is going to inspire fighters to be more like him, to be more honest in their intention. Here we have a guy at 37 years of age fighting someone 40 pounds heavier than him. What was it, 5 inches taller than him, 2 years younger than him, and beating the living daylights out of the guy, becoming undisputed. It's tremendously inspirational for other fighters. Do you understand? And also, it raises the bar. Since Usyk has gone and done that, cleaned out 2 divisions, no messing around, going straight for the toughest guys right away, it sets a standard, it sets a bar where boxing fans look at the rest of the champions in the sport and they're saying, well, Usyk did it. What's your excuse? Well, you're sitting around milking your belt, are you? Like Tyson Fury was trying to do, like David Haye was trying to do back in the days with his WBA belt. No. We're not going for that. We don't respect that. As fans, we respect guys like Alexander Usyk, like Inoue, guys who want all the smoke, guys who are honest about what they're trying to do and what they're trying to achieve. We're not trying to play the public and con the fans. You see? So Usyk winning sets the kind of precedent that we want in boxing. So this was a fantastic thing for the sport, a fantastic thing for the heavyweight division in particular. Usyk showing how it's done. He not only defeated Tyson Fury, the boxer, he not only defeated the industry that all wanted Tyson Fury to win, he also defeated the lies and the myths that had been concocted and perpetuated by Tyson Fury, his team, and his fans over the past 6 years. Usyk defeated all those lies, exploded all those myths in front of the whole world on the biggest stage. That was very important, because now people won't be so quick to crown somebody as the best in their division when they haven't become undisputed. They'll look back to Usyk Fury and say, whoa, hang on. Fury was running around saying that he's number 1. Loads of other people were saying he is. They were acting like the Usyk fight was a foregone conclusion and Fury was going to be too big and too skillful, so on and so forth. And look what happened there. So forget about speculation and people's opinions. Let's get an undisputed fight on. That will establish who the best is. We can't allow champions to get away with running their mouth, sitting on the sidelines, taking Mickey Mouse fights while their opponents are taking on much stiffer opposition. And if their opponents take a loss, I told you he was no good. We can't tolerate that kind of thing. We can't be bamboozled by that kind of thing. So yeah, great for boxing, this Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury fight, not just because it delivered on its promise, but because the more honorable fighter, the more honest fighter, the more old school fighter managed to win. And not just win, but beat the bigger, younger, trash talking fighter up. And I've got no issue with trash talk, by the way. I like trash talk, as long as you are willing to back it up and can back it up. When it goes wrong, of course, it makes you look very silly. Tyson Fury was calling Alexander Usyk a middleweight. Well, how are you going to allow a middleweight to push you around the ring for 12 rounds? How are you going to allow a middleweight to knock you into a different dimension the way he did in that 9th round? After the fight, Fury thought it was New Year's. He was wishing everyone a happy new year. Before the fight, Fury said, if he can't beat Usyk, he's no good. Again, trash talking gone wrong. You get the point I'm making here. I'll leave it there. Before I go, I removed a video from my channel. It was called Tyson Fury, the signs that he was going to lose to Usyk, something like that. So I removed that video from my channel because, yeah, it got the little yellow dollar sign, which meant I couldn't make any money off it. Sometimes the YouTube algorithm will do that to a video. You can't make any money off it. And whenever that happens, I just remove the video, because it does happen from time to time. You know, I'm not a stranger to that happening to my videos. So I just removed those videos and I upload them now. I'm going to start uploading them all to my Patreon page. So any videos that I remove from my YouTube channel, I will upload to my Patreon page. And that particular video, if you guys want to see it, I've made it public on my Patreon page. So I'll leave a link in the description below. Just click that link. You'll be able to go watch it for free on my Patreon page. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's publicly available and accessible to anyone. All right. And also, I uploaded a video, which I was promising over the past couple days, to my Patreon page. This is for paid members on Patreon, and it is an analysis of the first 3 rounds of the Usyk Fury fight and the 7th round, where I slow down the video footage, zoom right in, and we can see exactly who's landing what. And you will see, without any shadow of a doubt, that Alexander Usyk won the first 3 rounds of the Tyson Fury fight, and he also won the 7th round. It's not me speculating. This is not my opinion. A round of professional boxing is given to whoever lands the highest number of clean, effective punches in that round. And there's absolutely no doubt when you see this footage, slow motion, zoomed in, that it was Alexander Usyk easily in those rounds 1 to 3 and round 7. So if you want to access that video, all the links are in the description, and you'll go over there. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a lot cheaper. And there's loads and loads of boxing content on there, which is exclusive to Patreon, which you will not find on my YouTube channel. There's loads of film study of fights and what have you on my Patreon. So definitely check that out, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out.